Welcome back to a new episode of Sniper Sundays. It is currently Saturday, 6th of June, and it is 10 past 4. So, I just want to thank you guys for all the support recently. Like, we've had mad growth again. I'm hoping for 400 subs by when I put this video up. And my projection is to be at 1k at 1st of July, so end of this month. I'm predicting 1k subs. So yeah, that's looking sweet. If we keep getting this kind of growth, I'll probably be at like 20k in about 6 to 8 months time. So thank you guys for being here from the beginning. If you are very new and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe now. This content's all for free. I'm doing it on the weekends and stuff, so if you can just show some support, I'll be really grateful. And obviously leave a like if you enjoy the video, and if you've got a question for me, just leave it in the comments and I reply to everything and everyone. So yeah, without further ado, I'm just gonna get straight into this video to help you guys for the week ahead, with basically some market breakdowns. So we got 4 pairs this week. We got Euro NZD, we got GBP Sheath, GBP USD, and NZD CAD. So a bit of a range this week, a bit of a different range, because I usually stick to the majors, but obviously we've got like NZD in here this week, just so I thought I'd mix it up a little bit. So yeah, you guys got 4 pairs this week, so just a normal. The member zone, I've got about 12 or 13 pairs setups that I gave them. It's just I gave them a wide variety of setups so they can pick and choose the ones that they like and that suit them the most, and the ones that they think will have the best probability. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get straight into this video and start breaking down some charts. So this is what my analysis looks like on Euro NZD. You're probably thinking, I don't know what the fuck that is. Fine, that's cool. I'm about to break it down for you and make it simple as possible. So let me just clear this chart. If you want to screenshot this and you can see what it looks like before I've declared it, then go ahead. Let me just remove it. Cool. So I'm going to go into the monthly time frame because we're doing top-down analysis, and that basically means top. This is the top, and this is down to obviously the 5-minute. But we only go to about the 4-hour time frame for analysis. We use the smaller time frames for getting executions and snipes. So I can clearly see here it's making. So it wasn't a downtrend. You can clearly see it was doing something like this. Lower low, lower high, lower low here, and now it's broken out to the upside, and now it's in an uptrend basically. So this is what we call an ascending trend line. So it's making obviously it's made a new higher high now compared to this point here. So if you wanted to, you could say, okay, this is what the outer trend line looks like. So this is 1 touch, 2 touch. So it was higher low, higher high, looking for the higher low. So it could potentially come down to this kind of zone down here, this 1.62 kind of level. But for now, that's not really what we're looking at. We're looking at this trend line here, 1 touch, 2 touch. It takes 2 touches to make a trend line, and we also have this EMA which lines up really nice, which has obviously been respecting, as you see here. So this is why, if you're probably thinking, oh well, why didn't he use the other one? It's because the EMA basically shows me that it's been rejecting since 2018, so it most likely going to respect it again. So let's go down to the weekly, and we can clearly see that this was the last significant low point, and this was the last significant high point. So that means we fib it. We can fib the leg, if you'd like to call it that, and we can clearly see that it's come down to the 78.6 kind of level. Okay. This isn't an issue. We just need to know like what it's doing and kind of whereabouts it's going to be going and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not really relevant for me right now. It's just something to be wary of. It's come down to it's kind of below the weekly EMA, and it's come down to 78.6. But that's not really a big issue right now. As I said, obviously I like to trade off these kind of fib levels, but I want it to kind of hit this trend line. So what we might see is this slowdown here. And then maybe at the end of this kind of like October time, we might see once it hits this trend line, we might see some kind of movement off it like this. But for now, it's not really relevant for me, so I'm gonna delete it. But I'm gonna leave the outer trend line on because that's pretty important to me right now. Cool. So let's go down to the 8-hour time frame. So we're zooming in a little bit more. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. and I can clearly see that we've got this outer trend line that we can clearly see. So we've got 1 touch, 2 touch to make a trend line. So stick 1, 2. Okay. So that's 1, 2. So that's looking good. And then we can fib it from the last significant high to last significant low. So obviously, I'm predicting that this is or I'm hoping that this is where the leg's finished. Originally, I had my fib on here, but for the guys in the team, but obviously it's broken down even lower. So I've got to move this to wherever the leg finishes. Okay. So let's just say it's finished there, and obviously we want to be looking for a cycle level around our golden fib pocket or fib levels. So this is what my fib looks like. So I've got the 78 cycle level around the 71%, and I also have the 78 500 kind of level just above it. So what I'm kind of looking at here is basically I want to see this kind of I want to see the retracement back up to this kind of level to take a sell. Okay, so this is what I'm kind of looking for right now. I'm just trying to keep it making it as simple as possible for you guys. So yeah, I want to see this price come back into this pink level. So we have structure. So structure is basically previous support and resistance. So we have support. Then we had that resistance there. Then we had more support. And then obviously broken. It's going to break, retest as resistance basically. So we have psych level. We have descending trend line. We have structure, and then obviously we have golden fib pocket, which is 4 confluences, and the 5th confluence will be rejection. Rejection is basically spinning tops and dojis and shooting stars like this. So obviously we had this like spinning top doji formation, and then we had obviously that doji up here. So that's what we'll be looking for. So I'll be looking for 3 4-hour rejection candles basically from this kind of zone. So that's what I'll be looking for from there. So yeah, so basically what I'm looking for, to keep it simple, is I'm going with trend, so it's making a lower low, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then we're looking for the lower high compared to that point there to take this to sell it. Okay, so let's put a short position on. Okay, from here to here with the stops just above this. Oh, people might be like, oh, that's a big stop. No, it's not. We risk 1%. So I'm risking 1%. So to gain, I think it's going to be about 5. Oh, we'll guess. Yeah, 5.22. So basically, I only risk 1% per trade. Okay. So if I risk 1%, okay, risk towards is so if I risk 1%, I'm going to gain 5.2%. Okay. So that's my R to R. So it doesn't matter if this is 177 pips. Okay. If I'm risking 1% of my account balance, that's 1%. Okay. You've got to figure out what yours is. But I'm risking 1% to gain 5%. Okay. So that's the probability. That's what you got. That's the key. So if you have shitty risk to reward like this 1-to-1, it's shit. You're risking 1% to gain 1%. I'm risking 1% to gain 5%. So that means I can lose 5 trades like this and win 1, and I'll still be at break even. Okay, so that means if I win 2 out of the 5, I'm in profit, and then if I win 3 out of the 5, I'm even more profit. Okay, so that's what it's about in this game. It's about being profitable and having a profitable strategy. Okay, so I'm looking for so we've got descending trend line, structure, psych level, fib level, candlestick rejection. It gives us 5 confluences to take a short, and I think we have the daily EMA, so that's 6. So we've got the daily EMA as well, so that's 6. Okay, so it's not just, oh yeah, I sell off support resistance or break and retest or this shit. I have 6 things, 6 reasons to take a trade on this. Okay, it's not just one or the other, it's 6 in confluence together. Okay, and also this lines up really nicely our final take profit zone 61.8 with the overall trend, the bigger trend line that I put on earlier. So that it all aligns really nicely. So if price does come back into this pink zone, I'll be looking for candlestick rejection on the 4-hour time frame to take a short, at least 3 4-hour candles. Okay, please bear in mind if this doesn't reject, and this could occur. Okay, my bias is that the first thing I just gave you, but this could easily just do this, break out to the upside if it lets me select it. Break out to the upside like this, and then obviously it's bullish, and then we'll be looking for the retrace to take along. Okay, so that will make it invalid and there's no trade, but obviously my bias is telling me, because the trades, I'm going with trend, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, simple as that. Yeah. And if it doesn't reject, then don't take a trade. Okay, no rejection, no trade, as I tell my team. So that's EN, and then obviously we have GBP sheaf, which is GBP Swiss franc. So this is what it's looking like. Okay, you might be like, what the hell, man? That is, how has he done that? Yeah, I'm gonna explain it for you. Don't you worry. Okay. So this is what it's looking like. Take a little screenshot if you wanna, if you wanna see it afterwards, and I'll explain how I got it. So yeah, screenshot it now if you wanna. I'm just gonna have a sip of water. Cool. So I hope you screenshotted it if you wanna, and then obviously monthly, bang it. Okay, so we can clearly see on the bigger time frame. I can clearly see as a trend line, descending trend line here. So you've got one touch here, one touch there. So that's 2 touches. So that makes a trend line. And then obviously we're obviously bearish on this. Okay, we're looking for sells when it comes up to this kind of. We'll only be looking for sells when it gets to this trend line. Okay, and obviously it's been rejecting this monthly EMA pretty significantly. So let's just bear that in mind when we're doing some analysis. And obviously I can see, yeah, I go on to the weekly, so I go down even more, and I can clearly see that there's 1 touch, 2 touch, and a 3 touch, but I want to zoom down even more to get this precise. So that's 1 touch there, 2 touch there, 3 touch there. Bang, cool. So that is the descending trend line it was in. So it was in a descending trend, so it was making lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and obviously we were looking for the lower low, but obviously that hasn't occurred. And now it's broken out, and it's trying to make this higher high compared to this point here. So it's broken out, so we're looking for the retest basically. And I can clearly see that there's an ascending trend line as well. 1 touch, 2 touch, so that makes a trend line. Okay, bang, thank you very much. And then I'm going to zoom into the 8 hour so we can get an even better idea what's going on. So I'm going to fib it from the last significant low to the last significant high. So 1 touch there, and then obviously it's going to be there. So that's the last significant low, which is the last point. It was lowest point, and the last highest point was there. So what we got? Have we got any cycle levels around our fib level? Yeah, our golden fib level. Yeah, we do. We have the 1.19. Yeah, cycle level. Bang. Let's make it really precise. Bang. Look at that. Do we have structure? Yeah. Support, resistance, resistance, resistance. Yeah. Okay. Bang. So that's sick. Another confluence. So let's stick this on here. Okay, like that. And do we have the EMA? Is it lining up? Okay, it's not lining up perfectly. It's kind of 4 hour. No. Okay, so the EMA is not lining up perfectly, but it's still around. So that's no worries. That's no worries. So we got that's that. So we got structure, and then so basically what I'll be looking for now is looking for price to retrace, have a pullback into this kind of pink zone, yeah, this pink zone here, for us to take a long because it's with trend, it's broken up the upside, to take it up to the minus 61.8. Okay, so let's put a long position on, and I'll explain why in a second. Long position, okay, bang, bang, and bang. 5.3 risk to reward, and it is a 650 pip move. Okay, so basically what I'm looking for here is basically break and retest. So there's one confluence is a break and retest of the descending trend line, this one here, which I put on first. So that's one confluence. Second confluence is the ascending trend line, which is 2. Third confluence is the cycle level 3 here. So that's 3 confluences. Fourth is this fib level pocket here. So that's 4. And then obviously the fifth confluence will be candlestick rejection, which will be 5. Okay, and then obviously structure, which is 6. Bang. So you've got 6 confluences. 6 reasons to take along. We don't just go off support and resistance. We go off multiple reasons. Okay, that's the strategy that I'm teaching people and my team. I'm teaching them how to do this, and basically showing them the way. Okay, showing them the correct way to doing this shit. So yeah, 6 confluences to take along to gain 5.3% and 650 pips. So that's looking gang. So what am I looking for entries on this? If you're probably asking that, well, you've explained it, but how am I supposed to enter? It's basically, if we see rejection from the pink zone, then if we see a hammer candle, spinning tops or dojis, not spinning tops, sorry. If we see dojis no, yeah, doji spinning top, hammer candles from the pink zone. Then I'm gonna be taking along basically. Um, yeah, pretty simple. It'll be three 4 hour candles is what I tell the team. But you guys are gonna have to watch for this one because I only give updates to my team. I don't give updates to YouTube. Just how it is. So yeah, if you want to get involved with the team, I'll give more details at the end. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, if you just want the free content, just grab this. Obviously, if let's say some news comes out and Trump says some shit, and this does this and breaks, and there's no rejection on the time frames that I just gave, then it's invalid. Okay, so don't just say, oh yeah, Ken gave this and it didn't do that. Yeah, I'm saying it's got to reject, it's got to meet our rules for us to take a trade here. So that's GBP sheath. So I hope that if you want to take a screenshot of it, what it looks like now, and compare it to what I gave, it's literally exactly the same. So there it is explained. Cool. So then you got GU. Okay. So what we got? GU. Okay. Cool. So let me just delete this real quick, or you can screenshot it and have a look. Have a little look. So this is what it's looking like. It is. It's obviously we're looking for a long. So that's what it's looking like now. So I'm just to remove it all and go to the weekly time frame. Sometimes you don't need to go to the monthly. Like it's not necessary, but you can if you want. So for me, I'm just gonna do 1 touch, 2 touch here, and then that makes the trend line. You can move it a little bit closer, make sure it's touching. So trend line, it's in a descending trend line. It's making a lower low, lower high, lower low, looking for the lower high to take it a lower low, basically. Okay. Cool. So let's fib it if you want to fib it. Last significant high to last significant low is there. So obviously we need to be wary of this kind of 1.30500 level, which is a psych level. So you can type that in if you want. Bang. Cool. Okay. Yeah, nice. And then we can obviously stick a rectangle kind of across if we see any structure kind of thing. Cool. So that's there. That's what we know what's going on the bigger time frame. And then we zoom into the daily, see what's going on. So it was in a downtrend here. You can clearly see 1 touch, 2 touch, or 1 touch, 2 touch here, and that's broken out. It's broken out to the upside. So let's zoom in. So that means it's no longer in this descending trend line. So let's go on to the 8 hour time frame, and I can clearly see that it's making a. So look here, it made this, and then it made this higher low. Okay. So it's made it a lower high, then it made a higher low because it didn't break this. Then it made a higher high because it broke this. Then it made a higher low. Then it made a higher high. And now I'm looking for the higher low to take a buy, basically. So it's 1 touch. I call this a cluster touch. So that's 2 touch here. 1 touch, 2 touch. And now I'm looking for the 3rd touch to take a trade. So let's fib it from the last significant low, which is there, to the last significant high. And that lines up. Please bear with this up here. I'm going to fix it in a second. So, what was I going to say? Basically, so I fibbed it, and we have do we have a psych level around this? Our golden fib level? Yeah, we have with 23, the 1.23% psych level just below it, and obviously we can clearly see this is a huge structure point. Like look, liquidity zone, one wick. So support, and then obviously it's broken, so it's going to be support acting as resistance. It would just be support. Sorry, yes, so it was broken, so it would be support. Get my words mixed up now. So yeah, it would just be support again. So let's put a R to R on it. So stick it all the way up there, and obviously we'll have our stops just below the 100%. So that's another 5.6 ratio for a 750 pip move to the upside. Okay, so it's looking really good. I really like this. So, and also look at our take profit zone. It literally aligns perfectly with the zone I put on earlier. Literally, look at that line. This 30.500, it lines perfectly, and it hits the 78.6 on the bigger fib. So yeah, overall we're bearish on this trade on the bigger time frame. We're looking for a sell. Okay, look, we'll be looking for this swing trade. Okay, it's short, but when you zoom down, there's going to be trends within trends within trends within trends. Okay, you can go down to the 5 minute as a trend within a trend, but I'm not doing that. We're doing 8 hour. Okay, so that's the bigger overall short that I'm looking at. But for now, we can still gain 750 pips on this move. So let me just delete this, just so you can see what's going on. So basically what I'm looking for is this. I'm looking for price to retrace down to the 1.23 level, and basically if we see rejection, I'll be taking along all the way up to the -61.8. Taking 50% off here, 25% off here, 25% off here. Take partials, and yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So if we see rejection from this kind of zone, obviously I want it to align a bit nicer with the trend line, but it's not perfect. But like, it's most likely it's just going to wick down to here and reject. So basically what I'm looking for is a 4-hour time frame. If I see this kind of candlestick rejection, so let me just explain this real quick. So this is a spinning top, nothing really, don't really explain that. Hammer, doji, spinning top, doji, hammer candle. So this is 4 hours. So that's like, you know, over 24 hours worth of rejection. Okay, so if I see 3 of these, like spinning tops, dojis, or hammer candles from this zone that I just gave, this pink zone, then I'm gonna be taking along. Okay, and only if I see that. If I don't see it, I'm not taking a trade here. Okay, so if this breaks, if this does this and break and just goes like this and just goes all the way to the bottom, it never lets me select it. If it just breaks like this and no rejection, then it's invalid. Okay, so don't be like, oh, you said this. Yeah, if upon my rules, I'll be taking a trade. I'm just showing you what I'm looking for. Okay, if this just breaks out down to the downside because Trump goes and bombs fucking North Korea or some shit, then you know there's no rejection. You don't take a trade. It's that simple. So we have ascending trend line. Do we have an EMA? Kind of the dailies there. So we got ascending trend line, 78 or golden fib level, cycle level 21.23. Well, structure and candlestick rejection will be 5 confidences to take along. So that's looking cool. That's GU. So yeah, let's have actually. Does that look like what I gave out earlier? So you can pause and basically have a look from screenshot again. It is. It's literally the same. So that's looking cool. And obviously, finally, we have New Zealand dollar CAD. Okay. Let's have a sip of water. Sorry if my voice sounds pretty grouchy. I literally just did a 45-minute video for the members. So yeah. But yeah, so I'm not actually going to zoom out, just going to show you a different example. You don't always need to zoom out to the monthly, like sometimes it's just not relevant. But you know, if you want to, you can. So like, I'm just going to do it for a purpose of this video. So let's just stick that on there like that. So 1 touch, 2 touch, and now we're looking for the touch. So actually it is kind of relevant. That's actually my bad. I should have seen that. So okay, so that's actually changed the situation a little bit. So that's why sometimes it is better to look at the bigger time frame so you know what's up. Cool, so let's just have a little look. So basically, give me a second here. So basically what I'm looking for, so let me just delete this so you can see what's going on. So I didn't actually see this from the bigger time frame because I actually didn't look. So I did it last night. But okay, it's good. It's a good example, so you can learn from a mistake I just made. So that's good. As long as you learn something, that's sweet. So let's just fib it from the last significant high to last significant low, or last significant point to last significant bit. Okay, so you got 71, and then obviously you got the 90 kind of level here. So the 90 level is probably what it's going to get attracted to, most likely. Okay. So that's cool. So let's just stick a rectangle on it and stick it across like we do. And obviously I'm just going to delete the fib because it's just cleaner for you guys to see. And just bring it across a little bit. Okay, so that's fine. And then obviously zoom into the 8 hour or the daily if you want to look at the daily. 1 touch, 2 touch, you can see that's the outer trend line. And then the 8 hour time frame, I can clearly see that there's another trend line here. So it's 1 touch, 2 touch to make a trend line. So basically, if this breaks down below this still is, but it can still respect this other one. Okay, this other trend line. So we just need to be aware of that. We can delete it in a second. So I'm a favourite from the last significant low to the last significant high, and what aligns better? Okay, this outer trend line, which is the 23rd, But you can see the date. You can kind of predict when it's going to be here. So I don't like the outer trend line. I like the inner trend line. Plus it aligns with the daily EMA a lot nicer to see here. So this could come down and this could meet and then meet here. So basically what I'm looking for is what we got. We got psych level. Yeah. 85,500. So stick a thingy on it. Nice. And then obviously that's structure. So look, support, resistance, 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 resistance. All this wicks, all these wicks. So that's looking nice. So let's stick that on there. Cool. And then obviously we have the ascending trend line, and obviously we're gonna have to take a long. So let's stick a long position on it. Yep, yes sir. Can't actually see. Hang on. And then stops just below the 100%. Oh, look at that, another 5 ratio. Gang shit, man. So we've got 5 ratio, another 5 ratio actually, so that's like 4 or 5 ratios, I think that is. So if all these trades work out, that's like 20% on your account in a week, in a week or 2 weeks, if it happens in 2 weeks. So if you can get, even if you can get 10% in a month, that's sick. So if this happens in 2 weeks, that's 20% of your account in 2 weeks. Okay, so that's mad. Okay, so we got, what am I looking for? Right, what I'm looking for? I'm looking for the retracement back into the pink zone to take along to the minus 61.8, basically, and that is a 425 pip move with a 5.24 ratio. Oh, you're probably asking, you're thinking, well, what am I looking for entries? Okay, I'm looking for this 4-hour time frame. I'm looking for three 4-hour rejections. Okay, from this zone. What do we have here? Doji hammer, and then it obviously shot up to the upside. You would have taken some profit off it. Let's just say, for example. Okay, so I'm looking for 3 4-hour rejections from the pink zone that I gave. If we don't see that and we just see a clear or just one and it breaks through, then it's invalid. Okay, and it's also, look at that. So remember what I put it to the beginning. I put this pink zone, this big pink zone on, and I said, yeah, we'll probably be taking shorts because obviously overall it's in a downtrend. We can clearly see it's in a downtrend, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, low. Now looking for the lower high to take a lower low, but we can actually capitalize on that. And look at that, it lines pretty perfectly. Like, yeah, it's 30 pips below what I said, 0.9 level, and I literally didn't even make that up because I didn't even see that from the beginning. So yeah, it's kind of mad. This strategy just lit. So yeah, that is it for this week. That's 4 pairs covered. Let me just go over something real quick. So we've got green and gold. So man, if you haven't watched this, go back to watch this Wednesdays or Sniper Sunday to go over this. I said sells from the 78.6 level, and guess what happened? This did 600 pips last week. So me and the team got 600 pips. I gave it out to them, and I said enter now, and they entered, or some of them entered, and they gained bang. So yeah, that is this week's video. 4 pairs is looking good. Obviously, we're looking for the retracements to take. We're going with trend. Let me just talk about the member zone real quick. So basically, within my members area, I basically give. I've done an extra video for them before this, and it was like about 12 to 14 pairs. Obviously, they don't have to take them. I'm just showing the strategy in action, and there's more of me talking and basically me actually explaining how to use the strategy, and there's just more pairs for them to choose from. So if they wanted to do a different pair, then they can choose what they want to do. And obviously I do a midweek update on Wednesday, so it's just like kind of like watch this Wednesdays, but I actually I basically do more pairs, and I have a Q&A at the end of it. So that basically means that I can but they can basically ask me any questions within the community group chat, like, you know, some stuff on psychology, or how not to enter too early, or some like how to get better entries and sniper entries like myself. And I basically answer all the questions at the end in like a Q&A kind of session, which is quite cool. So that's on Wednesday, and then obviously throughout the week I do daily updates where I give trade setups and trade entries. So like when this comes down to the pink zone, I'll update the team and be like, yeah, it's come down to pink zone, let's look for rejection. And when the rejection occurs, I say, yeah, it's looking good to enter now and stuff like that. And obviously I give the stop loss and take profits. No, if you think it's a signal service, it's not. I basically teach people what to look for so they can become more independent. It's not a signal service, so I'm not like, yeah, copy and paste this. I actually show the charts and stuff. And yeah, so if you want more details on that, give me a DM. It's literally a small fee, but it's I know I keep saying price going up, but it's actually going up on I think it's either Wednesday or Thursday. I've decided, because it's really cheap at the moment, and we've got 70 members. So once we hit 100, we're having a meet up in London, I think, or Surrey, where I'm gonna get a mansion and renting it out, like with a pool and stuff. So the first 100 gonna be part of the KFX meetup, and we're gonna have like a videographer and shit. So we're gonna make a cool YouTube video, and it's gonna be quite cool to meet everyone. So yeah, if you want to be part of a cool community from the very start, because I'm telling you right now, this shit's gonna blow up real quick. Um, I've only been going, like, I've launched this 2 months. I actually started the actual company, registered it 2 months ago, and I've already got like nearly 70 members, and I'm predicting to have 1K subs by end of this month. So yeah, like, you're probably, if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. You're gonna be one of the OG subscribers to this channel. My plans for this shit is fucking mad. I'm gonna make my own broker and shit in the future. So yeah, it's only the beginning. I'm only 19 right now, so yeah, like, I don't even know what I can achieve by 25. So if you guys are new here, do subscribe. Shit's gonna get lit. And if you want to be one of the founding members of KFX, then do join, and just become part of it. It's really cheap. The amount of value I give, the amount of value I give on YouTube for free is kind of mad. Yeah, like, I'm trying to sort out what do you call it, a trust pilot thing, so you guys can see the reviews from my guys, and it's legit and shit like that. But why would it not be legit if I was doing all these videos for you and putting all this time in editing and shit? So anything else to add? No, not really. So yeah, if you want to get involved, DM me on Instagram. I'm probably gonna put a limit on it after 100 for a little while. So if you are interested and you're like in between, I don't know whether to enter or not, what's the worst thing that can happen? You don't enjoy it, and you can leave after a month. It's not a big deal. Which obviously I hope you wouldn't, but you're never gonna know until you try. So yeah, that is this week's video. Do DM me on Instagram. Leave a comment on this if you enjoyed it. Leave a like as well. And if you're new, subscribe. And if you think any of your trading friends will find this helpful, do send it to them, and just kind of get out there. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on Wednesday.